few minutes while we start. While we are trying to wait for everyone to join, kindly put on the chat box. Let's see where you have joined from. And we want to know where you are joining from. Let's know where you are joining from. Which state, which country are you joining from? How excited are we to be part of this? So I'll be playing this short video before we start officially. Kindly listen to this video while we start. Thank you as you listen.
Sorry, the video has no sound. Kindly help us with the sound.
Kindly give me a few minutes to do that. I will sort that out. Thank you. Hello, good evening, once again. Trying to sort the video out right now. Kindly give me a few minutes while I do that. Before the commencement of the video, we'll be starting this event shortly. Kindly give me a few minutes to sort the sound out. Thank you. All right, good evening once again. You're all welcome to this event, Educators Conference 2023, Day 2. And I'm glad to be doing this with us this evening. I would have loved to play this sound, the video, but right now, I guess the sound is currently not available. Pending the time that is being sorted, we'll be inviting the P1 group to give us what they have for us this evening. As I've said earlier, this is the day 2. I'm assuring you are all going to enjoy this session. You're all welcome once again. I want to tell you that we're also live on Facebook. You can join us on Facebook as well as on Twitter conversation. Don't forget our hashtag Educators Conference 2023. You can all put it on our social media while the session is ongoing. I'll be handing over this session to the P1 group to give us what they have.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Olumide Ibuko. I hope I'm audible enough. Am I audible enough?
Let's go on. You audible.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. So right now, I'm joining from Ado Ekiti, Nigeria. So here we have the privilege to give you what we have that everybody will enjoy in regards to entrepreneurship of this present year, 2023. So P1, I'll first of all define what P1 means. P1 means Property West Africa Network. And Property West Africa Network is a group of companies which have more than 40 companies under its umbrella. So now we have more than 11 years of operation, and we're in more than 30 states presently. So we just came to Ekiti State and to some other states so as to make sure that people get the opportunity to work with us. So now the main function of the company is to ensure that everybody gets house, everybody gets land easily, and a well-secured one for that matter. Secondly, we want to make sure that everybody are being empowered through this mechanism we have created. Now, the thing is, you don't need to leave your job, you don't need to leave what you're doing, but you'll be doing them and also get good income through us. So P1 has made it better for us, all of us, to come in as one so that the main vision of P1 will be achieved. Now, what is the vision of P1? The vision of P1 is to make every dream of every person that wants to have a home. Let's say you and I, we're having a dream to have a home, to make it a reality. And this is achievable easily with good income in P1. Now, it is of a great joy to tell you that, like I said, we're in more than 30 states. We're in north, south, east, and west of Nigeria. Beautifully, we are situated in Kigali, we are situated in Ghana, we are situated in USA and UK. So these countries has given us the opportunity to spread our tentacle, and we're still looking forward to spread our tentacle the more. Now, what is the mission of P1? The mission of P1 is to make sure they get lands in very, very good places, affordable and very, very cheap, and make it known to people, especially our partners. And our partners will be able to get their lands that is affordable and even show them how to make money through this means. And that is why P1 has seen it as a privilege to even bring teachers, everybody, traders, to get their own buildings, their own lands, or their own buildings with ease, without any problem. Now, the major thing I want you to know is that where it concerns you most is the PBO aspect. PBO means P1 business owner. So P1 business owner are very, very special to P1 in general. Now, I will let you know that we have P1 in different companies of P1 in different places. We have P1 Homes, we have P1 Max, we have P1 Pro, we have P1 Press, we have P1 Lighthouse, we have P1 Heritage. We have so many P1 under us, but P1 started on the 12th March 2012, and this was done successfully with P1 Homes. That is the parental company. So P1 Homes started the mission and the vision, ran with it, and achieved the aim of giving birth to P1 Edge. So P1 Edge was given birth to in 2015. After P1 Edge, 2016 to 17, other P1s were being created. Now, the thing is, how will you get your benefit from P1 by working with us? And how will you get your house easily, your land easily acquired by you? Now, the first thing is that we have 5 levels of joining us. The first one is 1,650, which is known as associate PBO. The second one is known as the second one is known as gold PBO. Let me be precise. Gold PBO means that you are at the level of you being able to earn from people under you, and that one goes for 37,650. And we have another one of classic gold PBO. Classic gold PBO, where you'll be able to pay 52,650. Let me now note 37,650's benefit is greater than the one of 1,650. Likewise, the one of 52 is greater than the one of 37,650. So now the 52,650 is the opportunity where you'll be able to subscribe for a land ownership. You subscribe for land ownership, and you'll be able to pay 15,000 naira every month for 60 months, which is 5 years. And the combined contribution will be 900,000 naira. And P1 will give every person that has deemed himself fit or herself fit to be part of us as a partner, which is called P1 business owner, will give them 600,000 naira in addition to the 900,000 that they've contributed within 5 years. So without 1.5 million, they can get land anywhere in Nigeria. Now, the next stage is known as Elite PBO, Elite Gold PBO. Elite Gold PBO, people want to join, they have to pay 187,650. And this level is a very juicy level. But the highest of all them is VIP level. This VIP level is known as VIP Gold level of PBO, where you pay 1,537,650. And this level is the highest, to the extreme that you'll be recognized globally. First of all, you'll be recognized Nigeria-wise, African-wise, and in a whole global level. So now the thing is, from the 52,650 to the 1,537,650, you'll be seen as a manager if you recruit 5 people that are ready to work in your team. Now, after all this has been said, this level are good for you. You can decide to start with 1,650, no matter the what is it called? The issue on ground. When you start with 1,650, you have the opportunity to do what? To elevate yourself to the highest by working with us. So nobody can come into P1 and says that he has brought somebody onto us as clients, and he now say that, okay, he wants to collect or she wants to collect commission. When the person has not registered, it is not allowed. We follow procedure and we do the due diligence to make sure that everybody is satisfied. So that is why we've created the opportunity for everybody to get registered with us. Now, your why determines the major force that will push you to do this business. Like some people, they want to be free financially. Some people, they want to have luxury of car. Some people, they want to have a very amazing, well-structured building, well-architected building. Or some people want to travel out. Okay, I want to travel out. I don't want to pay any money. And I want to even make myself comfortable. These are possible in P1, and it could be your why. There are so many whys, but the major thing is that know why you are joining P1 so that you can run. Let me say this. I used to tell people in the marketing aspect and in my training aspect that there is nothing you dream of financially that you want to attain in P1 is achievable, especially those people that are in Ekiti or new places that we just got to. You can achieve as much as you can. I've talked about our vision. I've talked about our mission. Our core value is very, very important because our core value will determine who we are. Because if we don't know our core value, you will just think that, oh, these people are this or that. And the acronym for our core value is ARISE. So ARISE starts with A, accountability. We are accountable for everything that occurs in P1. The second one is R, which is responsibility. We are responsible for everything we do in aspect of our estates that are available in the states they are available, and the aspect of our services that we provide. We're responsible for everything. And another one is I, integrity. And integrity is one of the major aspects of every business. Every person that wants to do business and to be prosperous must be a person of integrity. So we have integrity that is very, 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 very high. Now, another one is S, which is service. Service is we render very excellent service, not ordinary service, but very excellent service. That's why we have excellence in one of our what is it called, core value. So with this understanding given to you, by God's grace, I am opportune to also be a PBO, which will run with these core values everywhere. Any person that is joining us must put in mind that he or she must run with this core value. You must be accountable, you must be responsible, you must have integrity, and you have a good way of giving good service, not anyhow service, excellent service, because you're representing us. Whether you're a partner, whether you're a staff, no matter what it is, whatever post you are taking, you must represent us very well, because speak well of us. Because we don't want a situation where people will be so unpleased with our services or our behavior. Now, the thing is, I've spoken about the PBO, which is P1 business, what is it called? P1 business owner. Now, this system is of a joy for me to tell you that P1 Group, which is having more than 40 companies under its umbrella, is the first real estate networking marketing company in the whole world, not in Nigeria, not in Africa alone, but in the whole world. We are the first in this business. So imagine us being copied by a lot of companies, and just imagine what we will do in service. Now, I want you to know that there is no regret joining us in this company. I've told you we started in 2012, and we gave back to P1H, which is being displayed on the screen. 2015, P1H came to pass. 2016-17, other athletes. We call them athletes. They were vetted. They were created by wonderful people. Now, let me say this before, and I want this the slide to continue. And let me just say this as the slide is continuing. We are so pleased to give the marketing aspect to our PBOs, so that they can have enough of food to eat. Now, imagine Ekiti is having his estate around Exil to Ifaki Road. Now, you sell our land, you get 10% to 15% commission, which is from 180,000 to 270,000. Only yours. It's not for the staff, but is also for what is only for the PBOs, and if staff too are very good, they too can have it. In Abeokuta, we have land of 1 million naira, and our offices are well situated. So our land in Abeokuta too is there, 1 million naira. Our estate is very well.
Just 1 minute, sir, to round up.
Thank you so much, sir. So also we have land in Kwara, we have land in Lorin, we have land in so many places. Time will not give me the opportunity to speak a lot about what we have on the slide and what I want to tell you. But that is why I'm rushing to make it coincide, very short. So please, you are so opportune to be here, because other real estates can't do this for you. We also do buy to sell. Buy to sell is where you get 30% commission on every money being invested in P1. Likewise, you that brought the person that invested money, you get 7.5. Every person that is under you, you get commission from them. So what are you waiting for? Get yourself registered in P1. That is the major thing, and you will never regret it, because P1 is the best. P1 is the first in all the whole world doing real estate and networking marketing. P1 is good. We make our PBOs and our clients kings. We treat them with respect. So at this junction, I want you to know that you coming to board, you have no regrets. One of us here is a part of us, is a PBO, a wonderful PBO, and the person of Mr. Emirate. Mr. Emirate is one of us, and he is willing to let you come in through his link, and there is no regret, because right now I'm speaking from Ado Ekiti once again, and I'm the BDE, which is Business Development Executive and a state leader for P1 in Ekiti State. So believe me that you are at home and you will enjoy our services. Any question, please forward it to Mr. Emerald, and I'll be glad to answer them. God bless you.
Man, thank you so much for that wonderful presentation from P1. In case we have any, do that via through our channels. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And
it's a pleasure,
as
sir.
I've said earlier, my pleasure. As I've said earlier, this session is going to be an interesting one. This is just one aspect of it. And you're all welcome again to this day 2. I hope you have our questions ready. Those that asked our questions yesterday, today you are going to answer some of the questions. All you need to do is to abreast us of some of the questions you asked yesterday. You can send it to me via the chat box. Then we're going to read that. Before then, we'll be playing a very short video right now. I hope the sound is clear enough to take the video. Can you give me 1 second to play the video? Thanks as you listen.
I have been here for a while, and I see a world full of prejudice, skepticism, and chauvinism. You see, growing up as a child, I've come to understand that people judge people. People weigh people, and people determine people, not based on who they really or truly are, but based on what we think they are. We judge others based on preconceived notions, and we simply make conclusions. We allow the words in our minds to influence the word that we see. We therefore see in others only what we want to see in them. The same, the very same can be said of teachers. We are caught up in the web of men's opinions and the box of limited thinking that have crept into the true essence of our being, and we have allowed these opinions to redefine us, to shape the way we think, the way we behave, and the way we see the world around us. Crippled by the philosophies and the dictates of men, tossed to and fro by the winds of policies made by those we nurtured. But here is the thing: opinions, notions, impressions feed on perception, and perception is not reality. No. No. We know who we are. Oh yes, we know. We are not teachers because we stand in front while they sit right behind. We are not teachers because we sit with students in the 4 walls of the classroom. We are not teachers just because teaching is all that is left after we have searched for all and there is none. No. Oscar Wilde said, and I quote, "Education is an admirable thing, but it is well to remember from time to time that nothing that is worth knowing can be taught." End of quote. You see, every student can learn given the right circumstance. Teaching is not the transfer of knowledge or information, but the creation of relationships between the known and the unknown. A fulfilled teacher is not he that is successful at teaching the willing, but the unwilling. We are teachers because in us is the capacity to make others know. We help them unlearn, we remove obstacles, and we open wide the doors of possibilities and unending opportunities. Girox 1992 opines that teachers are transformative intellectuals who promote an environment that enables participants to reflect on the day-to-day life and the society to which they belong. We are the transformers. We are builders, but we build not with cement and blocks and iron and wood as the world builds, but we build with the heart of love, with the soul of creativity and the tenacity of purpose. Listen to this. Many homes are in pains, many families in disarray, many hearts torn apart, many children craving for love, for care, for attention. But we love, not just for who they are, but for who they will become. We are the mediators between where they are and where they will be. We are the eyes of yesterday and the custodians of tomorrow. We are the bridge where yesterday meets tomorrow. We engineer the doctors with the right medicine that the lawyers might speak justice. They are because we were, and they will be because we are. We are a people driven by love and sustained by passion. We are a nation united in purpose, dedicated and committed. We believe in change and in the pursuit of excellence. We are the light that shines bright in the darkness of ignorance. We are the brightest. We are the smartest. The highest nation in the world. We are the greatest. So, if you are a teacher, raise your head and walk tall. Reveal your greatness and be proud, because we are here. We create life without limits. Because we are here, we create a world without walls. Our world is a better place because we are teachers. My name is Oluwaseyi Anifowose, and I am a teacher.
All right. I hope you enjoyed the presentation from our wonderful Mr. Anifowose. I'm sure that Mr. Sheyi is also here with us, and I want to assure you that he's here live and present, and you are going to listen and also hear from him tonight. The poem has, it's been a wonderful one. Hearing this kind of a presentation dedicated to our dear teachers. And yes, I will be calling on Mr. Sheyi Anifowose, who will be declaring today's event open. I'm sure that Mr. Anifowose is here with us in our midst. Yes, you are welcome, sir.
Yeah,
so we are glad to have Mr. Sheyi Anifowose in our midst tonight. He is the one that just presented that wonderful poems just for our teachers alone. And of course, Mr. Sheyi is also a teacher, as I said. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmed Iyanda. Thank you for having me here. I'm sure you can hear me.
Yes, loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Can you hear me, please?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
All right. So thank you so much for having me here. And I'd like to thank Emirat EduConcept for putting up together this conference for teachers. Thank you for the impact that you're making in the education space. Thank you for your commitment to excellence. Thank you for your efforts to change the education narrative, particularly for the teachers. Thank you so much for all you do. So I'm here to just thank you for putting this together. And of course, thank all our participants for this conference. I want to believe that you're having a great time. This is day 2 of this conference. I want to believe that it's been valuable, it's been impactful and insightful. All right. We are of the opinion that that teachers occupy a very key place when it comes to education all over the world. I would always say that when we talk about quality education, what we're actually talking about is quality teachers, because that it is the teacher that has a responsibility to translate all of those curriculum or the curricula into actionable realities. So the teacher takes a very significant place, occupies or does a significant role when it comes to education and nation building in any place. So you're not here by chance. I'd like to thank you for taking our time to be here this evening. So that I don't waste your time, I'm only here to declare this meeting open this evening. And I'm glad that EduConcept is considering innovating entrepreneurship for the 21st century educators. All right, it's a topic that we need to talk about, how teachers can be more entrepreneurial. how teachers will not just depend on salaries, but think of other things that that can improve or that can enhance or empower us financially. So I'm sure that these are some of the things that you're getting. Mr. Odysseus told me about I don't those who the competition, and he requested if I could make my book available. So I'll be making my. I don't know how many people are in the competition, but I have at least 10 copies of my book to give out. And the reason I'm saying it is because in one of the things I considered or I explored in the book is entrepreneurial mindset for teachers. And I'm going to just read a quote for you from the book. And this quote is from Juliet Ehimwa, that's the former Google country director. She said, and I quote, "Entrepreneurial spirit is a mindset. It is a way of thinking that takes responsibility for making things happen rather than waiting for things to happen to you. It's a mindset that questions the status quo, embraces innovation, and seeks continuous improvement. You need an entrepreneurial spirit to propel you forward." That quote is by Juliet Ehimwa. That's the founder of Beyond Limit, and she was formerly Google country director. So it is necessary for us as educators to have entrepreneurial spirit, not just for us to depend on salaries or to depend on home lesson. There are things that we must begin to think about. If I knew this a long time ago, I've been in this space for over 10 years. I mean, probably over 15 years now. If I had an entrepreneurial spirit, I mean, things would not be the same at the moment. So it's a great call that we're exploring innovative entrepreneurship for teachers, things that we can do to make our lives better. And I'm sure that this meeting will be insightful. I wish you the best. I wish you the very best, and I hope that you have you take all of the learnings and run with it. So I'd like to declare this meeting open, and I wish you the very best. Thank you, and that will be all for me for now. Have a great evening.
All right. Thank you so much for that concise and declaration. We sincerely appreciate you, sir. And thanks for the honor you have given us to share your books to the winners. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And now that this event is being declared open by Mr. Seyi Anifoshe, we move straight to the next on the agenda. We now on the list we have open address coming from our wonderful executive director, the person of Mr. Odusanya Olalekon. He is going to be giving us a brief introduction as well as open address from this session tonight. Mr. Odusanya Olalekon happens to be the executive director of Emerald Edu Concept and Services. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. My network is quite funny here. I want to say a very big welcome to everyone. Last week, we have started, yesterday we have started the session, and I really believe that everyone enjoyed the session. There's no much I wanted to say. All I want to say is that this second day happens to be one of the best that can happen to any teacher. Why? Because we are going to really enjoy ourselves, and then much more importantly, we are going to learn from experts. We are looking at innovative entrepreneurship once again, and then we are looking at how do we look beyond our salary. How do we look beyond our salary? So I believe everybody has put on their writing material, and they are going to really, really learn from today's session. Thank you, and let us start. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed. You can move on.
All right, thank you so much for that concise and brief address by our executive director. Yes, we have our prof on the session, And we'll be taking a very key speech from our wonderful professor in the house today. Yesterday, we had Professor on the call, and today we'll be having another professor who will be giving us his keynote speech. Person of Professor Mangot Mankalik is here with us in our midst. Ensure that you have your pens, you have your papers ready. Try as much as possible to jot. We don't know, maybe we might have a gift for you after this session. But for now, ensure that you write and you keep writing while we also learn. Thank you so much. Before I invite Professor Mankalik, I'm going to play a short video of his biography and his profile. Ensure you listen. Thanks. Can you give me 1 minute to do that? I'm going to play his video right now.
Emerald Edu Concept and Services presents Global Educators Conference. Meet the guest speaker. Professor Mangot Mankalik is a professor of physics education with the Department of Science and Technology Education, University of Jos. He has been teaching at this level for 30 years at the undergraduate and postgraduate levels. He has supervised and graduated over 30 master's degree and 12 PhD students. Professor Mangot is involved in research in the areas of physics education, science education, teaching education, and other topical contemporary issues. He has also published over 75 scholarly papers locally, nationally, and internationally. He has held the position of head of the Department of Science and Technology Education, Director of the Institute of Education, and other positions appointed at the University of Jos.
All right, that is the short biography and the profile of Professor Mankalik all the way from University of Jos. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And don't forget, our theme for this year's conference is Innovative Entrepreneurship for 21st Century Teachers. And yes, our keynote speaker is going to address some of this, and do ensure you enjoy the session. Thank you as you listen. You're welcome, sir, Professor Mankalik Mangot. Over to you, sir. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name well. Kindly forgive me for that. Prof, sir, can you hear me? Prof, sir, can you hear me? I don't know if Prof can hear me. I'm sure. Yes, he's on the call. All right.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Oh, John. How are you doing?
I guess your network, we can't hear you clearly, sir. I don't know if that's your network. Prof, sir, we can't hear you.
Hello?
Good evening. How are you?
Fine, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello, good evening.
We can hear you loud and clear
now. My network is okay. Yes, good evening. I'm hearing you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, perfectly.
Yes, yes.
Okay, good. Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Ahmed.
Hello, sir. I can hear you, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, good evening, audience. Good evening, my colleagues, teachers. It has been a nice time participating in this Global Educators Conference 2023 for 21st century educators. It is exciting when I got the notice from your chairperson, and we narrowed down to a topic called Teaching and Learning Secondary School Subjects for Entrepreneurship and Asia for Poverty among Teachers and Students. Are you with me?
Yes,
Ahmed?
sir, we are with you. We are with
You're
you.
hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I'm a professor of physics education, University of Jos. Education can be regarded as the key that unlocks the development of an individual and a nation. When an individual is educated, he has been unplugged from ignorance, from illiteracy. And what education does is it propels that individual to a higher pedestrian. Yes, and citizens of a country are educated by acquiring knowledge, skills, and attitude. And this knowledge, skills, and attitude individuals that are educated. And the nation expects that once you are educated, you are conscious and you have what you imbibe the culture of national unity. And also you have the right type of values and attitude. And also the mind is trained to understand the world around it. And also it develops mentally, physically, and it enhances the social abilities of an individual. Yes, it becomes incumbent on the individual after going through the education system to acquire knowledge, skills, and attitudes that can empower that individual to be an innovator, to create jobs, and to add value to the society. But the question that one will pose to ask here is that, despite the fact that education is important, but as a nation, we are facing quite a lot of challenges. And these challenges spur from the increase in population, which competes with so many variables that are out there for individual. For example, the issue of what? Education. There is large population in terms of student intake. There is also competition in terms of the social facilities that are available. And then we are also grappling with the problem of lack of industries. The school curriculum is also an issue because a curriculum is supposed to define what an individual is supposed to gain from the education system. But the situation in Nigeria goes to a point whereby we have issues of lack of proper implementation of educational policies. Yes, we have policies. We had the 6334 system. Now we are running the 934 system. But before one policy is accomplished, another comes up. And then we don't get to the root of the full implementation of these policies. And these are issues that we are grappling with. Falling value of the Naira. Yes, the exchange rate of Naira today, as of last month, was $1 to 1,100. Certainly, everything is dependent on what? On that dollar, because we are not a producing nation, but we are what? An importer. And once we import, we need dollars to import. So it affects every facet of life. It increases the cost of what? Living. Continuous removal of oil subsidy. We wake up, the new government, they remove oil subsidy. And this has added to the pressures, to the economic pressures that individuals are facing. The inflation as of September is 26.72%. And also, it is important to point out here that the World Poverty Clock 2023 has reported that over 71 million Nigerians are at the poor level. And this is quite worrisome. So it means that the situation in the country affects teachers and students. Because we know that, yes, teachers and students are part of the Nigerian state. And once the economic crunch is biting so hard like this, it definitely affects them. The teacher is an educator of knowledge, skills, and attitude, while a student is a scholar. He's a learner. Then we ask, what is the situation of the teaching and the teachers teaching at different levels of education? Teachers are facing and already what you call economic pressures of what those things I have enumerated. The question that comes to mind here is that, what can teachers do? How will they tackle this problem? Of course, teachers, we're saying here is that teachers must think outside the box. They must think outside the box. Find ways of coming up with other means of surviving, not the negative way, but the positive way. Teachers must use what they know, what they have, and apply as a way out. All I know is that teachers have gone to school. They have acquired knowledge. They are teaching subjects, and these subjects have what you call tenets of entrepreneurship skills. There is no subject that has no entrepreneurship tenets within that particular subject. So when I say teachers must think outside the box, it means that they must use the knowledge they have in terms of implementing the curriculum. But just to take us home, we're saying that because of this problem, then the issue of entrepreneurship comes readily in mind. Just as an introduction, to say that this paper will attempt to look at the concept of teaching, who is a teacher, the concept of entrepreneurship education, entrepreneurship as a remedy for poverty. When we say teaching can
Sir, your network, we can't hear you. We lost you for a while. Prof, sir, I guess your network.
An engagement with learners to enable their understanding and application of knowledge, skills, and concepts be utilized.
Prof, we lost you for a while. We can't hear you at the moment. If you can hear me, sir, we can't hear you at the moment. I guess your network it's quite favorable. Kindly give us a few minutes.
Can you hear me now?
Prof, sir, yes, we can hear you now. We can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sorry, please, for that interruption. I was saying that teachers are the implementers. Are you hearing me?
Loud and clear, loud and clear, loud and clear, sir.
I was saying that teachers are the implementers of the school subject. They are the ones that look at what is prescribed by any curriculum, and they look at it, come up with what you call behavioral objectives, how this particular the learners. But we're saying also that attitude, experience, or being. So we're saying that a teacher is a professional. When you say a teacher is professional, we're saying that this teacher has knowledge, has skills, and he's registered with the Teacher Registration Council of Nigeria. That is when we say a teacher is a professional teacher. Then there are educators. There are facilitators. There are counselors. Because these young people that we teach are people who will grow up. We'll make sure we monitor their behavior. We make sure that we mold them both in character so that they will be better protectors of learners, because they affect the learners and they will handle it. Now let's look at that entrepreneurship education. It's a collection of formalized teachings that informs, trains, and educates an individual interested in participating in socioeconomic development through a project. Now, the question that comes to mind is that why entrepreneurship education in secondary schools? Yes, we are confronted with problems. Entrepreneurship education is needed in schools because it will confront unemployment. It will reduce poverty. It will create wealth. It will be self-reliance. It will create employment. Now, the next thing we need to look at is how can teachers enhance entrepreneurship education by this? So one of the ways we can enhance entrepreneurship education in our school is establish practice guidance for schools and teachers through the development and implementation of what we call practice guidance for the development of skills and competencies for entrepreneurship, using an action-based entrepreneurship education program. The school launches, for example, the school would launch a new business outfit. For example, in a boarding house, you could have what you call, each house will have what you call a small shop where they start a small business, where they sell what? They sell gari, they sell sugar, they sell all this, and you make students to be in charge of those business outfit. And that shop is monitored and is controlled by learners. By so doing, they will be imbibing those particular skill of what? Of running a small business. So what's guidance within a school setting? Whether it is a day school, you can still have a small kiosk which is run by what? By students. By so doing, you are imbibing, you are in the learners, and even the teachers who are supervising, they are imbibing the culture of entrepreneurship education. The second one is developing skills such as risk-taking and problem solving that can help the achievement of goals in life. Risk-taking is part of business. If you don't take risks, then you can't do business. It means that yes, if you know yes, if you buy this product, you expect that you are supposed to gain. But you should also have the other side that yes, you could also lose. But what measures will you put in place to ensure that you reduce this risk that is there? So risk taking is also part of what entrepreneurship tenets that teachers are supposed to expose students. Developing a curriculum that specifically addresses societal problems, such curriculum should aim at using the subject matter content as a driver for enhancing interpretation skills. For example, as a teacher of chemistry, using the knowledge of chemistry, you have taught students about sodium hydroxide. You have taught students about salt. You've taught students about so many of these acid, base, and salt. By that teaching, you can, out of that particular knowledge, students can be able to make polish. Students can be able to produce soap. Students can be able to produce pomade. Students can be able to produce what? Perfume. This knowledge is going to be provided back in a chemistry classroom. And as a teacher who teaches that particular course, certainly the teacher has the knowledge, the students are exposed to this, and these are tenets of the curriculum. And that is what we are talking about. The next one is prepare students and yourself for what you call uncertain future. Today, we face an uncertain future full of complex global social and environmental issues. For example, artificial intelligence. According to the World Economic Forum for the Future of Jobs survey, they say that by 2055, 3/4 of the jobs would have been taken care of by what? By robots. It means that if robots are going to take care of these jobs, then what is the stake of a teacher? Yes, you are teaching. Who knows whether robots will come and take over teaching in the classroom? But whatever it's going to come, we need to wake up. We need to think of the uncertain future and make sure that we include skills by problem solving, teamwork, empathy, as well as learning to accept failure as part of what is to come. The next point I want to raise here is that as you teach school subjects, leave room for creativity and collaboration. Because entrepreneurship requires what? Creativity. For you to be an entrepreneur, you must think outside the box. You must be creative. So as a teacher, we should not spoon feed our learners. Let's give room for what? Problem solving. Let students think and see how they can solve problems. By this practice, we are giving these learners, and we are also sharpening our thoughts concerning what? Entrepreneurship education. Teach problem identification. Teachers and students need to learn how to identify problems before they learn how to solve them. Yes, you must identify a problem. You must look at a situation and say, this problem exists. What can I do to solve this particular problem? And that is when you now bring in your knowledge, your skills, your experience, your exposure to coming up with what? On how you can be able to solve that particular problem. About is what? Develop grit. Passion is key to it. Cannot do anything. So we're saying that
Prof, your network is cracking here. We can't hear you, sir. Hello, Prof. Prof, sir, we can't hear you. I guess Prof is having a network issue. Can you give us a few minutes while Prof joins? Prof, can you hear us now?
Sorry, network has failed again. Ahmed, the network has come back. Are you with me now? That's
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's okay. That's all right. I said yes. The last one I was talking about passion, and you have passion and persistence. These are part of the ingredients that we will need to imbibe the tenets of entrepreneurship education. Let us not be consumers alone. What can we bring to the society that will be remembered for? Remember those great scientists, Albert Einstein. Remember Newton. Remember Archimedes' principles, and so on and so forth. Those great findings that have made a difference in the world today, they look at what? They were looking beyond themselves. They endeavor to make the world a better place. And that is what we should think about. And that is one of the entrepreneurship passion that we should be able to have. The next one is be a 21st century teacher whose focus is on learners by developing higher order thinking skills, effective collaboration, and other skills that will be needed in the 21st century. A 21st century educator is a lifelong learner. He keeps learning until he dies. And that is what we are supposed to imbibe as teachers. And by so doing, once we continue to learn, we read wide, we attend conferences, we attend seminars, we open up our horizon, we gain a lot of experiences. Who knows? That is where the magic number will come in, where we'll be able to do what? To make a difference in our society. These are some of the things that teachers are supposed to do. But before I go into the main issue of what? Teaching and learning for entrepreneurship skill, I want us to look at what poverty is all about. Poverty is a state situation in which a person or a group of people, for basic things they need to. The naira is on the dive. I have said the petroleum price have increased, inflation rate has increased, and this has led to what? Unemployment in the country. There is, because of corruption, there is inequality, laziness, and lack of initiative. And then part of the problem is what? Our educational policies. These are some of the causes of poverty. But if poverty is in the land, here is a teacher and a learner who is also a member of the society. A teacher, since they removed the subsidy of oil, the salaries of teachers have not been increased. And yet, the cost of material, cost of transport has increased. Imagine buying fuel at 630 naira, 40 naira. Certainly, the price of petrol has doubled. And this is a teacher, wherever you live, it has added to the cost of what? The housing, cost of facilities, and so on and so forth. So One way teachers can endeavor for them to bring themselves out of this quagmire is for teachers-led endeavors. And one of the endeavors that teachers are supposed to do, one is venture into what you call startup entrepreneurship. Most of our young teachers are knowledgeable. Yes, startups requires a lot of training. It means you must be grounded in your computer. You must receive a lot of training. This is an area that teachers can venture into. So when you have a startup, you can produce a startup on how to run, to administer a school. And schools will what? Will utilize that particular knowledge. And you will be paid what you call the royalty for bringing that up. That is an endeavor that a teacher can carry it out. The second one is form cooperative society. Of course, to be an entrepreneur, you need finance. So form cooperative society. And I want to tell you, cooperative society is everywhere in so many schools. Where I work in the University of Jos, we have what they call a cooperative society. And people contribute on a monthly basis. They can go there and what? Access loan. And by accessing loan, you can now utilize that money to what? To run a business. That business must not be what? A very big business. You start from what? A small one to a bigger one. You can start from what? Having what? A provision shop. You can start by what? Buying and selling cement. You can start by what? By doing other petty things that can bring in a what you call income. This is entrepreneurship. The next one is adashe, which is a normal contribution that people make. I contribute. We put ourselves together in groups. Let's say, for example, we are 10 in number, and then we say, okay, everybody will contribute 50,000 for what? For 10 months. Each month, everybody will collect, one person will collect 500,000. That is money that you can utilize in starting an entrepreneurial engagement. Engage in private lessons. Form yourself into groups. And then advertise yourself and provide what we call trainings are part of where we gain knowledge. Whatever training depends on whatever you want to do. Make sure that you get enough training so that whatever you are doing will be meaningful. Read widely. Reading is education, and it will provide you with what? A lot of information that will help you. Now, we want to look at how do we use entrepreneurship as a remedy to poverty in terms of teachers and so we're saying that we've said that education is a game changer. It provides knowledge, it changes attitude, it changes behavior, it develops skills. The full implementation of our educational policy is a 936 system. You know, the educational system, the 934 means that 9 years of what? Basic and upper basic. 3 years of what? Senior secondary school. 4 years of what? Of university. And at the secondary school level, NRDC in 2009 came up with a new curriculum. And that is why when you are in the sciences, you take mathematics, you take chemistry, you take physics, you take biology, you take biology, you take chemistry, you take biology, you take physics. That is a combination for sciences. And then you are also required to take any of the vocational courses, handset repair, animal husbandry. These are all subjects that can add value through what you call our entrepreneurial skills. They can help us develop entrepreneurial skills. Yes, even though we have problems with the implementation of this 934 system, because this system came, we don't have well-trained manpower in that particular area. But what schools are doing, they're just managing whatever we have. So it means more, a lot has to be done in that particular area. Now let's go to what? Entrepreneurship and the school curriculum. A curriculum is a planned and unplanned program of activity geared towards giving an individual skills, attitude, and knowledge. And these skills, knowledge, and attitude are what the society, what the Nigerian nation expects from you and me. It means that if you go through the school system, or through that particular curriculum, you should be able to get what? Knowledge. You should be able to develop skills that will help you to solve societal problems. You should be able to develop attitude that will help you to look at the development, to be patriotic, and so on and so forth. Here we're looking at just an example. We want to look at in the physics curriculum, we have what we call physics for technology. That was inscribed into the physics curriculum deliberately, because the reason was that it is possible you finish secondary school and you don't have opportunity of going beyond that. With this knowledge of physics and technology, whereby the knowledge of electrical continuity testing, teachers and students can what? Construct testers. Concept of pitch, frequency, musical notes, intensity, loudness of sound produces music. This, you can use this one to produce what you call musical instruments, guitar, and so on and so forth. So, energy and solar panels, teachers and students to construct atom of this. The second example, for example, chemistry and industry, production of soap, pomade, perfume, what you call detergents, mixtures, filtration, evaporation, acid, base, salt, water, solutions. The curriculum has topics, for example, separation of hard water and method of softening water treatment. We have a lot of business of what? Of pure water here and there. You, as a chemistry teacher, you have the knowledge. What do you require? You have the endeavors you're supposed to do. These are some of the steps you're supposed to do. Yes, you have done an adache and you have gotten 1 million naira. What can you use the 1 million naira for? Can I start a pure water business? That is entrepreneurial itself. And you can form groups for you to start that particular business. The next one we want to elect, the next one is that production of bleach, chalk, body cream, hair cream, commercial disinfectant, Izal, Vaseline, shampoo, organic fertilizer, liquid starch, soap detergent. These are all issues that we have taught our students in chemistry. Who is supposed to produce this? It's not somebody who has money. You as a teacher can be able to do what? To be able to, with their knowledge of chemistry, you can produce any of these things and start what? Selling. You have become an entrepreneur. You talk of biology, microorganisms, food production, processing and preservation. Breeding, a hybrid of plants for food, medical plants, e.g. lemongrass, used for malaria treatment. Zobo, that is a popular drink in Nigeria. You can package it well, and that is what? Those are, you are using the knowledge of what the curriculum defines. Study of animals, honey production, fishery, horticulture, poultry farming. You should be able to know the mixture that you can put the, what you call, the condiments you can put together that can give you a poultry feed. Organic, that is organic, what you call organic food or plants, or original, organically without chemicals. You can produce manure, you can create manure, and so on and so forth. Biotechnology, using sewage to generate energy and manure. I had the opportunity of going to Jerusalem. If you go, you see in their house, top of their houses, you will see black containers. They generate what? They generate energy from sewage, and that can be done. And you can be an entrepreneur installing such sewages in people's homes, and a lot can be a lot of money can be generated from there. Biomass, production of energy and gas. You can produce from sewage. You can produce gas for cooking. You can produce energy from that. If I am an English teacher, do I have a place? Can I be an entrepreneur? The answer is yes. Learners and teachers are exposed to the rudiment of what? Speech writing, book writing, drama, phonology and phonetics, editing. These are skills that we use in teaching students, and we ourselves can utilize this for us to become what? Entrepreneurs. You can be a speech writer. You can go into writing books, write big good stories. I remember one of our late colleagues, he writes letters. I can't remember some of the topics, but he was earning a lot of money from there. And those are the things. There are people who involve people in English in editing their works, especially if you are within the environment. That can be an interpretation.
Prof, sir, your network. We can't hear you at the moment. Prof, we can't hear you at the moment. I guess your network is unfavorable at the moment. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, no, the network went off. Can you utilize? Are you hearing me, Ahmed? Are you hearing
Yes,
me?
sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
These are some of the things we can take from the curriculum and we can utilize as teachers for what? For our development, for entrepreneurship development, and so on and so forth. So we have everything as teachers because it is within the curriculum, and we can, it's just for us to think outside the box. This
Hello, sir. Maybe you can just try to log out and then log in if the network will come back. Or you can just sound up, sir. Prof, sir, you can just round up the session. I guess the network is quite unfavorable at the moment. Okay. Any the time Prof joins us back. I don't know if you can hear me. He's still on the call. Would like to move on to the next on the agenda. Prof, thank you so much for your presentation. I guess the network is quite unfavorable at your side. We understand this is Nigeria, and then our network providers would have choice than to accept what we have. Thank you so much for the presentation, sir. We sincerely appreciate you. Of course, unfortunately, the network couldn't allow you to round up the session. But I want to assure you we enjoyed the session. And yes, we really enjoyed it. Thank you so much, sir. Yes, next on the agenda, because of our time, we'll be moving straight to the next, which is a presentation by one of our guests on the call. We're having a short comedy by Mrs.
I'm back.
Borayo.
I'm back.
Okay. Yes, Prof, sir. Prof, sir. Your network, we can't hear you. Maybe you can
back.
just.
Yes, yes.
Okay, you can just.
But I'm on now.
All right, sir. You can just round up
Okay,
the session, sir. All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Right.
Prof, the network.
I'm just trying to round up now. What subject matter to
okay.
enhance entrepreneurship skills? You're not hearing me. Well,
yes, I can hear you, sir.
Me?
It's cracking.
How you carry out your teaching skills by using exploration, organizing the entrepreneurship knowledge. Oh no, no. Well, I think I will just stop here. But the basic points
Prof, sir, your network, we can't hear you. Maybe.
The takeaway from here is that there should be as courses for us to have this skills.
Thank you, Prof, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Prof. Yes, I don't know, Prof, if you can hear me. I guess your network at your hand is quite unfavorable, and unfortunately, we'll have loved to take your last words from this session, and maybe you'll give us some time. We can come back to you, sir. Yes, as I've said earlier, the next on the agenda will have a side feature, just a very brief presentation, a comedy presentation from one of our guests on this call tonight. Feel free to listen. Ensure you enjoy the
just
session.
The last, are you hearing me now, Ahmed?
Yes, sir. I wanted to come back to you, sir, so that you kindly give us some minutes sometime, sir. Okay, all right, sir. All right, thank you so much, Prof.
All right, that's all right.
Yes, the network it's unfavorable. Would have loved to hear your last word from this session. We understand this is Nigeria and anything can happen in Nigeria. especially when it comes to network issues. So apologies for that, sir. We understand.
Yes,
Yes,
that's
thank
all
you so
right.
much.
No, it's
Thank
good.
you so much, sir.
That's,
Yes,
you're welcome. You're welcome.
thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And yes, we're moving straight to the presentation by one of our guests on this call tonight, in person of Mrs. Morayo Oyin Adejobi. He is here with us. Over to you for the presentation. Enjoy.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me. And thank you very much, Professor, for that eye-opening presentation. Like Professor said, he talked about teachers going into speeches and the likes. And you know that this same speech almost got me in trouble in secondary school. I was always a noisemaker. I was a notorious student in the class. And my teachers would always say, Oyin and co, Oyin and co. And so this day, my teacher just said, come and join the Literary and Debate Society. And I told myself I would disgrace my school, definitely. And so when we got to the point of presentation, when it was got my turn, a lot of people had spoken. Mothers are better than fathers and the likes. I'm here to support, I'm here to oppose. And I looked at everyone seated. I knew I had nothing of sense. And so I grabbed the microphone. Good day, ladies and gentlemen, panel of judges, co-debaters, accurate timekeepers. I'm here to support the motion which says mothers are better than fathers. I switched off the microphone. And so I started gesticulating, seriously. And everybody was shouting, engineer, she's making a point. Engineer, walk on the microphone. The moment I saw the engineer approaching me, I said, on the microphone. I hope with these few points are better than me. I had to quickly walk away from the stage. And let me just say one thing again. Nigerian teachers, I pray you will make able. You are the ones that taught us how to lie, particularly the English teachers. Write a letter to your uncle in London, telling him how you spent your last holiday. Who told you I ever had an uncle in UK? No family member of mine is even abroad. Can you imagine? And you know one funny thing about our classrooms? When a teacher, particularly the math teacher, when they begin to teach and they want to ask a question, how many of us have formed pretending to know the answer? You just begin to pretend like, the answer should look like, so that the teacher will call either somebody behind you or somebody beside you. I've done that a lot anyway, knowing fully well there's nothing in here. Then another funny thing, my father used to tell me I was very dumb. Out of 70 students in the class, my position was always between 67, 68. And he always tell me, you are so dumb. I wonder what you write in the exam hall. And so this day I wanted to impress my father. I wrote my exams and brought home my exam scripts. Daddy, you said I am dumb. See what I wrote in the exam hall. And my father asked me, what did you submit? I said, I have to bring it home to show you that I am intelligent. Am I not intelligent? Now, let me just say this before we go. There was a day our physics teacher was in class and he taught us, he was teaching us gravitational force and laws in physics. And he said, one day Isaac Newton sat under a tree and an apple fell on his head. And you know what he discovered? He discovered gravitational force. And when he asked me to explain further, I now told him, sir, if Isaac Newton were to be in class the same way I'm in class, with a lot of books, he wouldn't have discovered gravitational force. So, sir, you are putting us under pressure. I don't want teachers to finish me. Now, most times we see white kids, we see white kids telling their father, Daddy, shut up. Mommy, you are so dumb. And their parents will say, no, don't be naughty. Junior, don't say that. We used to have a neighbor like that. They just moved into the country. And the little boy will tell his daddy, Daddy, you are so dumb. Mommy, you are so naughty. I wanted to try it out with my mother, African mother for that matter. And she told me, go and wash plates. And I said, Mommy, don't be stupid. Can't you do the dishes yourself? The next thing in my head. And by the time my eyes were opened, I had to ask, please, where am I? And I saw people in white telling me, welcome to Igbo Hospital. Because my mother had redesigned the structure of my face. Trust African parents. So we are two different things. Shout out, kudos to all teachers everywhere in the world. We are doing wonderfully well. We are doing beautifully well. It's not easy having students in class, particularly talkatives like myself. I don't think I've ever been in a class that will be quiet. If I'm quiet, then something is definitely wrong. Thank you very much. That is my time. It's been a wonderful session. Prof, thank you very much, sir, for the eye-opening session. I also learned a lot. It was a beautiful time in this conference. Thank you very much. That's my time.
Thank you so much for that wonderful comedy session. I can see that people are really, clapping, the virtual clap. Thank you so much. You made me remember when I was young, and then, like our parents would always be like, any small thing, your mom will always beat you. And one day I was telling my mom that, okay, imagine Nigerian parents travels maybe London, and then you dare not be that child. The next is that the child will just report you to the police station, kind of, but it's just a kind of educative moment for us. Thank you so much for that. We sincerely
You're
appreciate
welcome.
you.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Yes, a pleasure. Yes, and then we're moving on to the next on the agenda. There's no time on our side. And then we'll have the panel session. Yesterday we had a wonderful panel session. And tonight we are still going to have a wonderful and insightful session. And I won't be doing this. We have the moderator. I don't know if she's on the call right now, Mrs. Oluwatosin Aroloyi. I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name right. I'm not sure. Apologies if I'm not pronouncing the name right. I don't know if she's on the call.
Yeah, I'm on the call.
Yes. All right. That's great. And I will be reading a profile. Can you give me a few minutes to share my screen while I hand over the microphone, the virtual microphone, to the moderator for the panel session. Tonight, we'll be having Mr. Tolu Ahmed, who happens to be the co-founder of My Fund. We also have Mrs. Adero Thompson, the CEO, Blue Sands Academy, as well as Mr. Kazim Abolore, the innovative teacher. They are all on this call tonight. And I'm going to be sharing my screen to bring them on board. Can you give me a few minutes to do that? Okay. While I'm doing that, I will allow Mrs. Oluwatosin to take over from here. Thank you. She will be the moderator for the panel session. Yes, over to you.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Okay, yes, good evening. Yes, good evening.
Good evening to you. Yeah, can we hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so beautiful. And so it's just question time. Do we have our panelists already? So I'll be taking some questions.
They are on the call.
Welcome, sir. All right. So the first question I'll be asking our panelists, number one, I want to ask that how can we redefine success in the teaching profession beyond teacher salary? So I'm going to take that again. I'm going to take the question again. How can we redefine success in the teaching profession beyond teacher salary? So that's the question, sir.
Who is taking that?
Apologies, Mrs. Oluwatosin. On this call, on this panel session, we have Mr. Abolore Kazim. We also have Mr. Tolu Ahmed, the co-founder of My Fund, and we have Mrs. Alero Thompson, the CEO, Blue Brands. Kindly come off mute and say hi to the house. Mr. Tolu Ahmed, I can see you here. Doctor, apologies for that.
Yeah, yes. Hi, good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for that. Also, we have Mrs. Alero Thompson on the call, the CEO, Blue Sands Academy. Kindly say hi.
Maybe our network.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
we
yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Happy to be here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We're glad to have you here. And lastly, we have Mr. Kazim Abolore, innovative teacher. Kindly say hi to the house.
Yeah, good evening to you, wherever you are listening to me from. It's so pleasant to be here tonight.
Good evening, sir. Thank you so much for that. I would like to see your face, sir. Mr. Kazim, we would like to see your face.
I'm sorry, where I am tonight, I can't share my face because where I am is not
all right.
conducive for that. I'm sorry for that.
No problem. No problem for that. All right. So I'll be handing over proper to Mrs. Oluwatosin to take charge.
I'm not Mrs. So I'm Miss.
Apologies. 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 Yes, Miss Oluwatosin. Yes. I hope my apologies granted.
Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Okay, so welcome our panelists. Welcome, Mr. Tolulope Ahmed.
Thank you.
Welcome,
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Lawrence Thompson. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you.
Kazim. It's nice to have you on board. Thank you so much for honoring our call. All right, so the first question I asked was, my question will go to Mrs. Alore Thompson. So my question is, how can we redefine success in the teaching profession beyond teacher salary? I'll take that again. How can we redefine success in the teaching profession beyond teachers? Over to you, Mrs. Thompson.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. I would like to stay off camera so that the network will be stable. So redefining success as a school or maybe as an educational institution, it comes with different multifaceted settings. First of all, you have to go beyond the text scores of students. In Nigeria today, we believe so much in marks, in student grades. So just read and pass, read and pass, read and pass, read and pass. So for you to have success in impacting knowledge and seeing the results, you have to bring out the creativity in students. You have to bring out their critical analytics. You have to also teach students how to, even when you impart knowledge, you make sure that learning is taking place. It is very easy for somebody to read and pass, but it takes more effort for a teacher to impart knowledge and that child learn. Another aspect again is to focus on lifelong learning as educators. We need to encourage teachers to focus on lifelong learning. What do I mean by that? As a teacher, maybe you start teaching from primary 1. You need to go to further your skills, to have your professional development. Maybe when it comes to maybe child education, maybe mental health, you could take different courses that have to do with the education sector. How can I work in a team, or how can I work with other teachers from other cultural backgrounds? So you have to develop yourself. And also character building. There's a difference between a teacher and educator. A teacher is somebody that imparts knowledge in a school, maybe formal setting, while an educator goes beyond imparting knowledge. An educator has to be somebody that has character, somebody that is like a role model, somebody that people look up to. So as an educator, you have to develop your character. You don't have to be a teacher or maybe an educator that does not be a role model to children. I still remember my primary 6 teacher. Why I remembered him was not because he was a teacher, but because he was an educator, because of his character. And also community engagement. Educators should go beyond the 4 corners of the school. They should look at parents. What kind of relationship do you have with parents? What kind of relationship do you have with children? What kind of relationship do you have with your fellow teachers? And what kind of relationship do you have with your communities? So in redefining success, we have to look at all these avenues. And if we can focus on this, we can bring success to what we are doing personally and the school we are working in. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ma. That was beautiful. Thank you, Ma. Thank you. So I want to ask Mr. Tolilope Ahmed. I want to ask that what innovative strategy can school implement to support and motivate teachers beyond their salaries? I love this part very well. What are the things that you feel that school can implement to support and motivate teachers beyond their salaries?
Okay, excellent question.
If you have questions, sorry, sir, excuse me, sir, sorry, Mr. Ahmed, sorry. Please, if you have questions, maybe from what Prof has said or from yesterday's session, please send me a chat in the chat box. Send it directly to me. Thank you so much. Okay, sir.
Okay, so I have a take on the first question. So I don't know if I still have the opportunity to just, chip something into that first question. Yes, you can say something on it.
Yes, sure.
Excellent. So the first question says, how can you as a teacher measure your own success beyond just the fact that you earn salary? And there are two main things that I think is important that I think everyone needs, every teacher, should use to measure himself, regardless of whatever you teach. And the first one is to establish your own authority in what you teach by creating a product around what you actually teach. Because for me, I don't think every teacher should just be teaching and say I'm teaching. I think one of the ways to establish that you're a good teacher and you're someone that someone should listen to should be that you can create a product around what you claim to be a master of. So it doesn't have to be a book, it could be anything, but just one of the ways to show that you are actually the real deal is for you to establish your authority on what you claim to be teaching. If you're a physics teacher, you should write something on physics, create some, let it just, don't be that you just come to school. Let it establish yourself, that way people can listen to you more, because you see, the people would become, people talk about, oh, I'm a teacher. No, it's not really what you become. It's what you do first that actually tells us who you really are, and then that now becomes like what you become. So when somebody says, this guy is this stuff, the real reason why they kind of pay attention to you that way is because your work is speaking. It's not because you claim to be the person. You need to make your work speak so that you can shut up and allow your work to be doing the speaking for you. So one of the ways to really establish that you are successful, and you're a successful teacher, is you need to find a way to create a product around what you claim to be a master of. I like the word master instead of the word teacher. I like the word master. So when I was in school, in the secondary school system, I call myself a physics master. So I don't like the word teacher. I prefer the word master. And one of the ways to show that you're a master of something is create a product. So without wasting time, the second point is you need to actually have impact. You need to have feedback. You need to find a way to document the feedback of the impact you're making. You cannot have, how will you know that you're really a successful teacher without feedback? We say that feedback is the breakfast of champions. I don't want to hear what you claim to be doing. I want to hear what the result of what you're doing is telling me. So you need to collate, like when I was in school, one of my favorite statements about my work is, I am yet to record the first student who will not pass physics. So throughout the time I was in secondary school, there was none of my students that did not pass, JAMB. So I say, in terms of preparing your child for admission, right, he will pass physics, because I'm yet to record. Even the weakest has always passed physics. So those are elements beyond your user. And you see, when those things lead, the money is gonna follow behind, because when I'm talking to a parent and I'm saying, you want to hire me to take your child, okay, those are the things I put forward. So when I bill you, okay, you are the one that is saying, shut up and take my money. Are we together? You're not saying, it's straight. No, you are the ones like, okay, yeah, of course, I'm willing to pay. So I remember when I was in that secondary school and somebody came to report to the owner of the school that somebody was charging a crazy amount for a tutorial, and they called, and they didn't call me. Somebody said it to me that the owner of the school was surprised I was charging that much. I said, it's a free market. You can either pay or you don't pay, so but that's what I'm dealing. So create a product and ensure you record your impact. Put those things forward, and the money will follow behind. There are other things I want to say, but I don't want to take this long. So the second question, I think you said something about, say it again, please help me with the question again. I think I forgot.
Question is, what can school implement to support and motivate teachers?
I remember now. Yeah. So yeah, this is it. If you're a school owner, all right, and you need to really get your people to become motivated, beyond salary, just like the way I do for my employees, is that I pay salaries, which is the default payment. But what really makes us a team is the results. So each person has a target that I have thought about in terms of, so if you're a school owner, please listen to this. So I've thought about, this is what I want the company to achieve or to have. And I want each of these people to achieve it. So I promised an extra reward for other things that tie into our collective goal. So your salary, you will earn it. But if you really want to make money in this company, right, you have to achieve those things and then put the results on the report. So there's a report that everybody writes. When I see that you're doing the report, and I don't even need to know what you're doing, but I can check the report, I can check the results, and then I can say, okay, because of that, I'm rewarding you. We paid a couple of people this last week based on certain milestones that they achieved, and because of that, everyone wants to work, because this guy is seeing that this guy is getting paid for one extra effort that he's making, right? And that's beyond salary, So, and then because of that, they want to work. They're calling me, they're giving me updates. They're giving me updates of their work. Some of them are working Sundays, you understand, giving me updates. Because I think it's a natural motivator. Yeah, money is still important here. But you see, I want to know what I'm paying for. And that's the reason why I took the effort of making sure that I can serialize what I want them to really achieve. So as a school owner, you want to do that. So, I know some schools do something like, okay, if your students score 100, A's in your subject, you have this kind of results. But you see, what you should do is put more of the reward on such achievements, you understand, and follow through with it. You would see everybody wants to come to work, everybody wants to achieve that and all that. And of course, it shouldn't be the reason why
Are you there, sir? Oh, God. Oh, network. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Let's just wait. Probably you'll join back. And I was already enjoying that session. Oh, my God. So I hope we're enjoying the session, everybody. Please, I need answers in the chat box. If you enjoyed it, please just put it there. Oh, yes, I'm enjoying it. So just write one thing you have learned so far, one thing you have learned from this conference so far. Put it in the chat box. One thing you've learned from this conference. I've not seen any. Mr. Ahmed, are you back? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. All right. So when he joins back.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've rounded off my point. Sorry, I had a little bit of network problem. So that's the point I wanted to make. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I want to ask another question on what you said the first time. So you said that teachers should create products around what they do. So I want to ask that when a teacher has done that, how do you think such teacher can market what he or she has provided? Because there are times that, you create a book, you can't get buyer, you create a course, people are not buying. So how do you go around that? What do you think we can do? Make more money, please.
Yeah, so excellent question. Excellent question. You just need to learn marketing. You see, it's professionally the way the professionals learn it. There's no two way about it. You have to become very good at marketing. So as someone who has sold over 100,000 copies of my book, So there's a lot I've learned in my journey of marketing, in my journey of selling. Okay, so, but in order to answer the question, how do you sell? Different products, of course, have different markets, and you have to, tailor your marketing towards the target audience. But one of the ways in which I've sold, the most has been by rewarding distributors. Okay, so my product is out here, and the price of the book is 5,000. Okay, doesn't matter how much I put it. Doesn't, even if I call it 1,000, people will still resist. So it's not because of the price people don't buy. Okay, in case you're here, you want to set a price for your product, don't put it at 1K to think that people will buy it much because you put it at 1K. In fact, putting it at 1K can kill the value of the product. Put it at a huge amount, call it 10K, okay? And each time people want to buy it, tell them that you're giving them a discount of maybe 50%, okay? It's fine. But the real reason is so that you can employ distributors, because those distributors promise them that will keep the 60% of the profits, okay? Notice they are not the ones who created the product, but if you promise them huge reward on each copy, they will be the ones selling your book more than you. Today, I've moved on to many other things because I'm drawing my fund primarily now, but other people are the ones selling my book because I pay them handsomely for each copy. So they don't even mind to buy, because I tell people, okay, if you want to sell my book, you can keep up to 60% of the profits, right? And that means you can set your own price. Official market is 4,500. You can sell 3,000 and still be making a lot of money. So because of that, a lot of them are buying a lot of copies to make profit for themselves. And that's how I've sold, and we crossed 100,000 copies last November. So, and that's how people still sell and buy now. So they buy to sell from the press directly. They don't even contact me anymore. Interestingly, I have a press, so I just link them up with the press so they know how to just get the product and sell. And so that's been my best strategy so far. Just employ distributors, because you need people. You can't do it alone, and you don't have time. So, and I've moved on to other projects. So that's my best marketing strategy till date. There are other things, but that's what has helped me sell the most. I need to factor in distributors inside the price so that I will give them a huge portion of it, so I can buy their time and they can be selling for me. So that's how I do it. Wow. But products be good first too, because they must not also have difficulty selling it.
Selling it, yeah, beautiful. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
thank you. Okay, so my question will go to Mr. Kazim Bolore. Okay, so my question to you, sir, is in what way can teacher training and professional development be enhanced to focus on holistic growth and job satisfaction? I'll take that again. In what way can teacher training and professional development be enhanced to focus on holistic growth and job satisfaction? This particular question. Okay, sir. So did you get my question, sir? Mr. Kazim? Is he on this call? Mr. Kazim, are you there, sir?
I'm with you, but I didn't hear your question.
Okay, sir, did you get my, okay, I'm going to take the question again.
I didn't get you.
Okay, so the question says that in what way can teacher training and professional development be enhanced to focus on holistic growth and job satisfaction? Did you get that, sir? So all our training, our yeah, okay.
So what you are saying, in other words, is that how can that training make teacher become better? Better not only in their teaching, but also
like financial, emotional, all around.
But also in other areas of life, right?
Yes, sir. That's the question, sir.
You know what? I have just one straight answer to that. And I will now develop my points based on that one straightforward answer. Are we together?
Yes, sir, we are together, sir.
Now, that straight answer I have is that teachers and school owners should begin to train teachers on acquisition of digital skills. Hello? Teachers and school owners should begin to train themselves on acquisition of digital skills. You see, this straightforward answer that I gave has a lot of things in it. But let me just mention a few things because of there's no time. You have really run out of time. As a matter of fact, I thought this session would be around 5 or 6 p.m. And I have another meeting right now. So
we are so sorry, sir.
But that's not a problem.
Okay.
So back to my answer that teachers should begin to acquire digital skills. See, enough of all this training on teaching methodologies and classroom management and lesson notes, writing of lesson notes, enough of those ones. I'm not saying those ones are not good, but enough. Let teachers begin to acquire digital skills and let's see if their life will not change. For your information, I'm a teacher. You heard it in my name, the innovative teacher. They don't call me innovative teacher because of any other thing than because I have digital skills. I didn't say digital skill, I said digital skills. There are a lot of digital skills that I have today that I can begin to mention them. And I can tell you for free that these are the skills that changed my life.
Are you there, sir? This network issue today. We are so sorry, everybody.
Yes, I did what?
This is Nigeria. Welcome to Nigeria.
If Mr. Tolulope does not remember me, let me.
Oh, sure, I do. Of course, I do. But I can't hear you right now.
Are you there, sir? Mr. Kazim, are you there?
What's making me a connection with our digital skill? Are we still together?
Yes.
Yes, we are together. Oh my God. We can't hear you, sir. I guess his network has issues. Are you there, Mr. Kazim?
I'm still with you.
Okay, we can hear you.
You can't. Oh my goodness.
Okay, now we can hear you now. We can hear you now. Can hear you now. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kazim, are you there? Yeah, this network issues. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, so while you joined us back, I'll just move on to the next question so that we don't waste our time. Okay, ma'am. Mrs. Tolulope, are you there, ma'am?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kazim, are you back?
I'm back. I'm here with you.
Okay, sir. So we can hear you now. We can go on.
So I was saying that teachers should acquire digital skills. Let me give you examples of digital skills that will holistically change the life of teachers. Let me mention some of them. Number one, writing of ebooks. Number two, creation of online courses. Number three, graphic design. Number four, Facebook ads. Number 5, I can go on and on and on like that, but that is enough. So teachers should take any of these digital skills, master it, practice it, and monetize it. Hello, let me mention that again. Teachers should acquire these skills, master it, practice it, and monetize it. And I tell you that not only will their life change in the classroom, but it will also change outside of the classroom. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So,
we got that.
So yeah, I wanted to say something before the network went up. I wanted to remind
okay.
There was a year like that about it's more than 5 years, if not up to 7 or 8 years. Somebody invited you to a college of education in Ekpe.
Yeah, I still have the picture.
Yeah.
I still have our pictures, of course. Yeah.
So that same guy, he's still the same person, but in a new dimension.
Yeah.
We are not yet where we want to be, but we are not where we used to be, and that is courtesy of the acquisition of digital skills. So if you want to take personal development training that will holistically change their life, enough of all those training on classroom management. I'm not saying those ones are not good, but enough of them. All of those ones that they have taken all of these years. I'm not sorry to say it. What has it done for them in their life personally? You get that, but digital skills can change their life. So that's my submission.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. I hope you have heard that, teachers. I hope you have heard that. And I feel that for me, I want to add to that question. I feel that we need to revisit our curriculum, like what we are being taught, even in our colleges, in our universities. We need to recheck it. We need to really recheck all of those courses. Like, you know, let me not go there. So my question next, we go to Mrs. Thompson. Are you there, ma? Can you hear me, ma?
I'm here. Yeah, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay, ma. So my question to you is, what policy are necessary to create more environment for teachers, considering factors other than salaries? What policies or reforms are necessary to create a more supportive environment for teachers, considering factors other than salaries?
Okay, I would like to add, let's understand that most teachers, I taught in a school, both private and government school put together, I've taught for over 10 years. And it was from there I decided to start my own tech organization. Most teachers go through unbearable, treatment from owners of schools. We should not forget that. All these fantastic things we are saying, it's not that the teachers cannot do it, but because they are not given the environment, the support to do that. While teaching in a setting private school, we have this owner of school that feels that she's the boss, she's everything. If you want to go ahead, maybe to learn or maybe to take a skill, you have to leave that school. You cannot come to a school and say you want to develop yourself and say you want to be doing other things. Now we need to look at the parameters, the things that are hindering teachers from not having that support. Nigerian school owners, over 80% of them are bossy. I've worked in several schools and I've seen, especially when it's a female owner of school. So these owners of school, they need to come together. They need to go through leadership training. Number one, teachers are not slaves. Most teachers are being treated like slaves. Last year, I went to to Lagos State Ministry of Education to get a contract to train girls in tech, because that's what my organization do. We train girls in technology, different tech skills, send them for competitions, give them scholarship to school overseas. And when I went to the school, there were over 150 students in the class with just one teacher. Now you want to tell me with that kind densely populated class, how will that teacher be very effective in her teaching? So we need to go to the grassroots of this matter. What are the things that are hindering teachers? It's not that the teachers are just there, they don't know what to do, or they are not happy to learn any tech skill, any digital skill, or they don't have the entrepreneurial mindset. They have it. Nigerian teachers are very talented, but they are kept in the hands of wrong people. For example, you have a owner of school who is not supportive, who feel she sweats through to make sure that her school come up. You were not there. I met a owner of school that was telling me, Miss Alero, you were not there when I was laying the foundation of my school. You cannot come to my school and bring in anything. If you know you want to do this, you want to do that. Just because I decided to go to to take a certificate training, because I did a certificate training in software engineering. I build mobile apps and also website. I just decided, okay, let me not just be a teacher just like that. Let me just go and acquire a skill. So this thing was taking some time from the school. And she told me, you cannot do that in my school. There are so many people looking for jobs out there. I know that so many teachers out there, even on this program, have gone through the hands of some of these owners of school. So for teachers to have a supportive environment, first of all, the owners of school must recognize that teachers are first of all human beings before they are teachers, and they should be treated as one. We've talked about professional development, mentoring, and all these things. If we don't get that right, every other thing will not be in place. You want to tell me you want to send a teacher for training? When she's going for training or when she comes back with a skill, then the owner of school will now feel like you've gone to acquire skill. You want to come and show us that you've known. You have to leave this school. So owners of school must recognize, first of all, that these are teachers and they need to develop. In my organization, I started as a teacher. When I saw the gaps in education, I discovered that 8 in 10 girls in school cannot even use a computer, especially girls in government school. I said, no, let me come out and start doing something. I registered my business in 2018. Since then, I've trained over 3,000 girls in tech. The girls that won the national ICT competitions, I trained them. And when I went to the school, I was asking the computer teacher, I said, you've been a computer teacher for more than 15 years in this school. How come these students cannot even do anything on Excel or Microsoft? He said, that they are not giving them the opportunity to go and to acquire more skills on computer. They are not, even when they bring the computers to the school, they steal them and all things like that. So teachers here, even if you don't get the support from where you are working, you don't get the support from your community, I want to tell you that from what you've learned, you can come out and start doing something. I came out from a school setting after 10 years. I founded Blue Sands Academy. I've met with Obama just through this education line. I've met with so many heads of state as a result of teaching. Why? Because I recognize a gap in the education sector. What is that gap in your school? If you're not given the opportunity or you're not given the support, you can pull out. Begin to create something. Is it that the students in your school, they find it difficult to pass mathematics or maybe any STEM courses? You can come and start a STEM academy, start training. You are still in the education sector. Nobody tie your leg in a particular place. And again, we have to do what they call inclusive school culture. Allow teachers to be in the decision-making in schools. This boils down to what I'm saying. 80% of Nigerian teachers that teach in schools are treated as slaves. They are not given the opportunity to make decisions. You want to come and make decisions for somebody that built a school? I know that government schools are trying. You see, that's why many people want to work in government schools. But the monitoring and the laissez-faire nature of teachers in government school will not make them to want to, how will I put it, to stay hold to their duties. That's why I see many people go to private school so that they can have this, how will I put it, innovative method of teaching and all the rest. But when they get there, they are being victimized. So school owners should learn how to include teachers in their decision making and also give them opportunities to go for outside affairs, like a community of teachers. Send your teachers from this school to other schools to go and see what is happening there. You can even sponsor them overseas. I work in a school where the owner of the school, this is somebody that have an open mind. She's the owner of it, she's an owner of a, how will I put it, 21st century kind of school, let's say an American kind of school, where you allow children to learn at their own pace. So when you come in as a teacher, she sends you overseas to go and, do some trainings and come back. And you see that by these exchange programs, by the time these teachers come back, they've learned skills. And even if you want to use that skill and go and start up something, you are free. The world is free. Don't hold yourself down. You've gained something, you've acquired, you've seen the gap in what you're doing. Come out and start creating something. Like what Professor Magnus said, there are some things you've done in chemistry, in physics, in this, in that. Come out and do it. Like now, I have my e-learning platform, just like Udacity. I started from the gaps I've seen in the school settings. And I can tell you today that if you go to many schools in Nigeria, computer education is lacking. And I've stood in the school and told a principal, I said, you don't teach these children computer, but you bring computer education in their examination. This is injustice. She said that when the government don't give this, this one don't give this one don't give that. That is not the excuse. These are the gaps in the school. What is that gap that you're seeing? You are not supported, fine. Go and create a solution from that place you're working. Thank you.
Wow, just wow. Like you poured your heart. Thank you so much. That was awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So the last question will go to Mr. Ahmed. And the question says that what can be employed to attract? Okay, what can be employed to attract and retain a diverse and talented pool of educators in the profession? What do you think we can do to employ, to attract and retain a diverse and talented pool of educators in the profession? You get my question, sir?
Yeah, I think I got it. The truth is the best people, the people who have the first class brain, they don't want to teach in a secondary school, or they don't want to teach in schools because it's not a good compensation for what they are capable of.
They don't even want to teach at all.
They don't want to teach at all. I remember the first time I got to, the school where I was, and, they asked me, they asked me how much I want to earn. So, and then I mentioned that, okay, I mentioned the amount, it was higher than what everybody in the school could earn. And the owner of the school was like, so if I have the money, okay, I will pay, but we don't have the money. All right, but they wanted me there. You get the idea. So, but I was like, no, you can't pay me, right? Because this is what I think I'm worth. And eventually she was like, okay, this is what we could pay. I said, how close to what I have mentioned can you come? How close to it can you come? And she mentioned a certain amount, and afterwards I was like, okay. She was like, so after she was like, okay, after I said I would take it, I gave a condition, and I was like, I cannot work full time. Okay. And she was like, no, nobody works part-time here. Hey, everybody works full-time and all of that. And I was like, but if I am able to achieve all the things I promised that I would achieve, in your school, and I work part-time, does it matter if I work part-time? And that's what I'm promising, that I'll still be able to achieve all the things I promised, because my presentation was quite, was quite well received. The feedback was good. They were like, oh, they need someone like this here, right? So, and I was like, well, I would still want to, achieve all of that, and I promise I will, but I'm going to work part-time. And of course, I became the only person who was working part-time in the school. Now, but the question you asked, really brought that memory back to me, because someone like me will not work in that kind of school, because I just feel like if you cannot pay what I have, forget it. I'm not going to be here, okay? Except if you are desperate. If you're desperate for a job, they'll tell you, sit down on the floor, I want to interview you, and you will sit down too. So the truth is, we end up, hiring the list of the worst of the worst in our schools, and the best of the best just naturally gravitate towards the place where they can really pay for what they are offering. And that's a sad reality, but that's just how it is. So to the question, how can you keep attracting the best of the best? It boils down mostly to being able to afford them. Okay, and that would be that the schools can actually find ways to make sure that when you find a talent, you pay them for that talent, for that result. But again, one of the ways you can also keep them would be to say, you are clear about why you are employing them. And this is an extra work, but boils down back to the same point I made earlier, which was serialize the things you want to achieve and put an amount on it. Okay, so I would rather pay a relatively small salary, right, and pay a huge reward for certain results, okay, than say this is how much everybody is paid here. Because that way I won't be able to actually recognize and appreciate people's individual talents or what they can really contribute. So I think it boils down to compensation. It boils down to how much you can really reward them for what they are worth. Because if they are not, if they are worth more than what you can pay, then don't expect to hire them. I don't think I want to work in a place where you cannot pay for my services. And I don't think you should be demanding that I work there too. Right? So if you really want to keep the best talent, I think it boils down to compensation. You must be willing to reward people. So there are some schools that I think they do that. They reward people based on negotiation, based on what they think the person is worth, and not based on some general salaries that this is what we pay grades, something teachers, what there are some schools that do that. Yeah, they just pay people so people don't find out what the other person is earning until later on when they find out, and they also become dissatisfied. And then, all those politics start going on. I didn't know what most people were earning in the company. I just told them what I wanted to earn. I could be shooting myself in the foot, but it was what I was worth. So even if somebody was earning more than me, at that time, nobody was earning what I was earning. And I was working part-time. But at that time, if somebody had been earning more than I was earning, okay, I would just assume the person was worth more than me because that was what I was worth at the time, and that was what I gave. So I think if that compensation system is such that people can earn what you think they're worth. So, and then you can flexibly compensate them for what they're worth. Yeah, maybe we can retain better talents than what we have. Because most of the people in the schools right now are those who are not able to get jobs elsewhere, unfortunately. So that's what I was saying. I think it boils down to compensation.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, if you have questions, I'm still waiting for your questions. Please send to the chat box. Oh, I love the fact that you said that what's your worth. Whatever school owners are doing to teachers right now, we had the reason. But the reason why school owners are treating some teachers like trash. I tell people that I have humble pride though, like some things that I just cannot. I'd rather be at home, jobless, sleeping, waking up, do that. Okay, I don't have a job. Me to be in a school where my mental health is at stake. I'm not even okay. I'm like, how do you even cope? How do you even stay here? Like how? So whatever they're doing to us now, it all starts with us. Define who you are, know your worth.
Yeah, know your worth. Very important.
I tell people, I say, don't know how much effort I put in when I was in school to get a distinction from a school. You think it's it's not joke. I cannot do it, please. I'd rather be in my house. Do you understand? I say, we have first class earning, thank you. I'm like, this your own first class is dumb, bro. I'm sorry. You understand? If you know your worth, there are people that will pay you for your worth. Do not limit yourself. Don't think, if I don't take the job, maybe you will not die. Trust me. Coming from me, you will not die. Trust me, you will not die. So define yourself, state your worth. Don't be like, this is what they pay. If you feel that where you are right now cannot take you, it's not a must to stay there. Move forward. There are persons that will value you for your talent. So don't just because I just to work. At the end of the day, you're not frustrated. You don't know what to do again. Please let that stop. This is the set of this conference, so that after this conference, we go back and sit down, write down this, okay, what I've learned, what do I want to do going forward? Because right now, rice now is 50K per bag. Let me inform you.
Yeah, yeah, I'll really be interested in those personal questions, you know.
Okay, so yes, please, if you have questions, please let's take it so that we can round up. Okay, sometimes cannot be. So Mrs. Thompson is saying that sometimes it might not be that the teacher don't know that what, but the root cause is the economy. If the economy is right, the pay will be right and the teacher will be right. I agree with that too.
Well,
I agree with that.
Yeah,
but you know, sometimes,
yeah, I understand. Okay.
No, you can speak, sir.
Okay, yeah, I wanted to speak to that and say that primarily it's not with the economy. The economy plays a role, but it is also important that we understand this principle called the law of exchange, which is law of compensation rather, which is that I don't think I should be paid something that I'm not worth, because if every time that system, or I found myself in a system where it seems like I'm earning something that I did not qualify for, really, it makes me feel like an imposter. It makes me feel like this is not right, you know, that kind of stuff. Like I'm not doing what I'm promising to deliver. I'm not. So, and then it also makes me feel, if I'm also paid a very small amount, I would also feel like, oh no, I'm really undercompensated, you know. So there's supposed to always be that this true compensation going on. Because if that true compensation is not going on, right? Say, for example, somebody's here, he's not doing much, but he's earning the same thing everybody's earning, right? And somebody is there, is doing a lot of work, and is earning the same thing everybody's there, is earning the same thing everybody's earning. When that compensation is not there, right, we will not be able to really thrive. Say, when I was in secondary school, some people were doing lessons for 10K. 5K, 15K, you know, ridiculous. You know, like I cannot imagine myself doing that, you know. So that's not about the economy. That's just you being okay charging that kind of ridiculous amounts on lesson. Somebody told me, said, oh, you know, this is our environment here. You know, this is somebody told me that then said, this is our environment here, people cannot pay. I said, no. I had people who were in my house, and for one, I don't go to people's, I took lessons, you know, so, and I charge a lot. I don't go to people's houses. They come to my house because if you want to get what I'm offering, you better pay. You understand? Because I have the result. That's why I said for teachers, let your work lead. Let the work you have done lead. Let the results you've had, the feedback from results and the students you've taught and prepared for admission, let it lead. Then every other person will want to come, you know, to buy what you're selling, basically. You must know what you're selling. So today, when I charge over 100K for a training, like I have I have someone that I was training abroad, who the teacher called me from the US, and I was like, you know, I said I'm busy, I cannot train her. It's just any amount, you know, and he was willing to pay, and then we set it up. You understand? That is value. That's not, you understand what I'm saying? So it doesn't, some economy, yeah, can have some impact, which is, oh, they don't have the money. So, but if you don't have the money, then move. It's not me you're looking for. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. You probably will find someone who can do it at your level, but it will not be me. You understand what I'm saying? So even though the economy can affect how much you can, you know, earn and all that, but I think the primary driver is that understanding what you're worth and being able to charge that. It was crazy then seeing a lot of people being charging like 10K for lessons. It's crazy, it's ridiculous. And a lot of people are still doing that today.
Wow.
You know, it's funny.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah.
Mr. Ahmed. Thank you, Mrs. Thompson. Thank you. Let me see the best person's name. I think he's not on this call again. I guess network. Thank you so much, Mr. Tolulokpe Ahmed, Mrs. Alore Thompson, Mr. Kazim Abolore. Thank you so much. We had a great time. So, Mr. Ahmed now to take over from me. Thank you so much.
All right.
You're
welcome.
welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thanks to our panelists, Mr. Tolulokpe Ahmed. Thanks so much, Ms. Alero Thompson. Thank you so much, the innovative educator, teacher. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We do appreciate your time with us. And so our indefatigable host, moderator for the panel session. Thanks so much, Miss Oluwatosin. I won't forget that this time around. And I'm sure that you have learned something tonight. And I've learned so much tonight. When I had teachers are not slaves and we should not be treated as slaves, of course. And then the way we also earn our money, we should always ensure that we should not restrict ourselves to the classroom alone. Of course, teachers who can be millionaires, can be billionaires. Yes, I'm waiting for every one of us. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. We do appreciate that. And yes, I guess I don't know if you have question. We can take one question. If you don't have, I will go straight to announcement. Before then, I sincerely want to appreciate everyone who has joined us on this call tonight, as well as those who are joining us right from our Facebook, as well as our Twitter conversation. While this session was ongoing, we also have our Twitter live conversation, as well as live session on our Facebook. So we do appreciate everyone who has joined on our Facebook live session. Thank you so much. Don't forget our hashtag Educators Conference 2023. And of course, tomorrow is the last day. We'll have another session tomorrow, and I'll be making the announcement in the GV. Can you give me some minutes while I share my screen? And before then, I'm going to invite our chairperson in person of Ms. Bumi Anani to give us closing remarks after taking my announcements. Can you give me a few minutes to do that for me? Okay, all right. So one of our announcements, tomorrow will be the last day for the conference, which is day 3. And also we'll be having each session tomorrow. We have 3 sessions tomorrow. This Saturday, we have the general workshop session that will be coming up at 10 a.m. on the dot. Also, we'll be having the afternoon session, the idea pitching, as well as the grand finale of the innovation challenge. Right now, we have 12 people who have been shortlisted for the challenge. And right now, we'll be announcing the winners tomorrow after the pitch. We would like every one of us to join the session by 4 p.m. tomorrow. And then the last but not the least, we'll have the evening session, which happens to be the keynote address by 7 p.m., as well as the closing ceremony comes up at 8:30 p.m. So these are the information that we have for every one of us. Do ensure that you follow this session to the end of the conference. We sincerely appreciate everyone who has joined this session right from day 1 yesterday, day 2, of course, today, as well as we are hopeful that you will all join again tomorrow. Ensure you invite everybody. Ensure you invite your teachers, your colleagues, as well as students, if that will be really appreciated. And lastly, on the announcement, we'll have the Educators Conference, that is the Educators Digital Lab, Port 8, will be coming up after the conference. It's just 5,000. Do ensure that you register for this Educators Digital Lab from the deed. Thank you so much, everyone. And now, I've been handing over this virtual microphone to our chairperson, in person of Ms. Bumi Anani, for our closing remarks. Ms. Bumi Anani, are you on the call? I'm not sure if she's still on the call with us. Okay, while I'm waiting for our chairperson to give us closing remarks, be reminded that the general training starts tomorrow for every one of us who is interested to join the session. We're expecting you all. The general training commences tomorrow. Obligad will have everyone join the training. And so, Ms. Bumi Anani, before then, I'll be inviting our Okay, I'm coming. I'm inviting our executive director, Mr. Olalekan Odusoya, for his closing remarks. Mr. Odusoya, over to you, sir.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols duly observed once again. We have enjoyed a wonderful session today. I want to thank all the speakers, Professor Mankilik, the panelists, Mrs. Aleo Thompson, Mr. Ahmed Tolu, Mr. Kazima Bolore, the panel anchor, Ms. Tosin Awoloye, the person that gave us comedy, Mrs. Onyi Adejobi, our excellent host, Ahmed. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I hope we have learned one or two things. Quickly, let me add to you that tomorrow morning, I'm standing in for the chairperson. So tomorrow morning, we are going to start with a workshop. Now, this is not a speech, not a talk. This is a proper workshop. And one of the famous coach in the education space, and that is Coach Wale Adejuibe, will be leading that general training session. Coach Wale is connected to over 600 schools in Nigeria, and currently is even in Lagos on training currently. So he will be joining live tomorrow for training, and we are looking at he's looking at wealth creation for teachers. Wealth creation to how do you create wealth? And of course, tomorrow as well, we're going to be having group trainings. We're going to have we have various platforms already, platforms for school owners, platform for school leaders, and platform for teachers. So we are going to be having breakout room in one of the sessions in one of the training sessions tomorrow, where we are going to have school owners go to their place, and the teachers and school leaders. So for us to learn more about this innovative entrepreneurship we are talking about. As well, let me categorically say that this is 10 o'clock. 12 people have, we've started Innovation Challenge, ably supported by Nobel First from USA. And let me say that the voting exercise commenced this morning, 10 a.m. and has ended 10 p.m. Today. The person in charge has sent me a message that we can do it to announce on the platform. The voting has ended. Some of your favorite teachers partook in the challenge, and 3 of them will now be coming in for the grand finale tomorrow. By the grace of God, we can let me share the screen. We are going to be having a panel of judges. Keisha Top is the vice president of Nobel First and get Global Teachers, and she's also the Global Teachers Prize winner. She's one of our board members who will be leading the panel, the judges, and then of course Mr. Sheyi and please can you help me share the screen, please? Mr. Sheyi and Ms. Titi Loye will also be the leading judge. So by afternoon, 4 p.m., we want you to come and support your favorite educators that will be presenting their ideas. They will be pitching their ideas and telling us that, okay, if you have this social amount of money, they'll be able to come up with innovations that could solve problems. They are vying for these 12 have gone to the voting stage. And then by tomorrow morning, we are going to be announcing the top 3 that will be coming for pitching. However, what we have done so far is that our supporters and sponsors have made sure that all those that participated will be having certificates. All these 12 that are here currently now will be going for training. I think about 20 of them that will scale through, and these 12 will be going in for training. The training will be done by key organizations from UK, from India, from Nigeria, and Cameroon. They will be all of those, and of course, they'll be getting free books. And then, of course, particularly 3 of them will be coming in to pitch their ideas. And then, of course, the winner will go with something worth of $100, something worth of $100. So they are buying for $100, as the case may be now. And of course, do well to come and support them. Then come and learn from their ideas. I think it's also important. We are talking about innovative entrepreneurship. Please do well, come and learn from the ideas of these people. To be pitching wonderful ideas. If they have $100 or so, what they're going to use it for, you can learn from them, glean from there, for you to start something up yourself. So then tomorrow evening, by the grace of God, we are going to be having the former Commissioner for Education, Lagos State, Mrs. Adefisayo Folashade, delivering another keynote session, another session. We are going to be having other panelists again coming on board to come and discuss. We're going to be having a poetry session. All of that announcement that we have made sure will be sent on platforms. Please do whether you, for the morning, afternoon, and evening session, do whether you partake of everything. We want to say a very, very big thank you to everyone that have joined. We hope that you have learned one or two things. Of course, the recorded session will be available. Like you have said, there is a digital, you are told to learn digital skill. We once trained one particular person on digital skill, like that, if I can remember. The guy is the young man is from Abuja. He came around, and then during that digital class, they learned almost 100 tools. And then these guys started using just 2 of them and started training people on that. That was the day he messaged me and was like, Emerald, you won't believe that I have over 400 students on this digital class and I've just 2. And then of course they are paying a sum of 3,000. I said, wow, you are now in money. And we joked about it. And so digital tools are very important. So you can help me display that digital tools. So you can also be part of the program. The link and everything will be sent on some of the platforms and via emails. Then very soon we're also coming up with financial transformation program for teachers. We have trained some teachers that are now teaching students from abroad. And like I know of a lady, Lydia by name. We once run a maiden edition of that program. Currently, Lydia has over 120 international students, and she's taking them English. It's quite funny, some of the remarkable testimonies that we have. So based on popular demands, people have said we should bring that program. We are bringing it back, financial transformation program for teachers. So they will learn about business of education, how they can do a whole lot of things and make their money. Like I usually said, and the crux, like I've said when I was starting, the crux of this conference is that there is money in education, there's money in teaching. Your perspective have to change this time that you have come for this conference. The recording for this session will be available on YouTube and other platforms. So those that are interested could get the platform. So tomorrow we'll give additional information from myself and on behalf of the chairperson planning committee. We say thank you. I hope you enjoy yourself. Over to you, Ahmed.
All right, thank you so much for the closing. Before we go, I would like every one of us to on our videos. We can just post anyhow we want to post, or we can post a virtual post, and then while I take screenshots, I will sincerely thank you so much. Yes, let's on our videos. I can see beautiful and handsome faces. Yes, thank you so much. I still want many of us to on our videos. You are not smiling now. One. Thank you so much for joining this session tonight. We sincerely appreciate every one of us. Thank you, and thank you. I'm sure that you are all going to join this session again tomorrow, hopefully. Yes, tomorrow morning, afternoon, and evening. Do ensure that you don't miss any of this session. And I'll remain myself, Ahmed Nada. We shall meet again tomorrow. Thank you, everyone. Good night. All right, bye.